All it took was 16 tomatoes, 1 onion, 2 teaspoons of garlic, a tablespoon of vinegar, a tablespoon of sugar, oregano just from the garden, or dried could be used as well, and then a cup of water. 40 minutes all round, and you've got yourself some pasta sauce. And what do you know, there we have it guys, a quick and easy pasta sauce. 18, welcome to today's video. In place of a Monday review, I thought I would go in the theme of the self-isolation slash panic buying that we're all seeing across the globe with this whole COVID-19 situation. If you are a regular team member, you would have known that Adam and I attempted to go on a cruise holiday, which is now about 3 weeks ago, which was, and last Friday's video was the first of that journey. Fast forward to now, this is in the future. I pre-record a lot of material just to make sure that I stay on my schedule. Just so I'm not confusing you, Friday vlogs will still be part 2, 3 and 4 of the cruise journey, or lack thereof, whereas my Mondays are going to be replaced for now with things to do in isolation. So the first thing I noticed when I went to the supermarkets with Adam after we returned from the cruise ship, or the failed attempt at going on a cruise, how crazy people are in the supermarket when they're panic buying. The cereal aisle, again, depleted. Especially items like toilet paper, pasta, rice, lentils, chickpeas, all of the tinned stuff, crushed tomato, and pasta sauce. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, I am a group fitness instructor. That's the basis of my channel. But in a previous life, I was a qualified chef. Now, I still am a qualified chef, but I just don't cook commercially. So for today's video, I thought I would remedy this whole self-isolation and panic buying stuff and teach you something. Because funnily enough, when you go to the supermarket, what's left in abundance? Produce. Why? Yes, it has a shorter shelf life, but also because we are in a time where not many people know how to make things from raw ingredients. They don't know how to cook. So I'm going to teach you how to make pasta sauce. All you really need is your tomatoes, onion, garlic, and traditionally you would use a bouquet garni, which is I guess you could call it a bundle for seasoning. It's usually made from bay leaves, celery, and whole peppers, corns. I'm not going to do that because I don't have any bay leaves here. I do have a bunch of oregano in the garden, which I will be putting in, just to give it the seasoning, as well as salt and pepper and brown sugar. You're also supposed to put some vinegar in there. I've got apple cider, so that's going to have to do. We've all seen the panic buying at the supermarket, where multiple items are out of stock. So like I said before, I'm going to do a very easy to make pasta sauce, because I'm well overdue with a come cook with me episode. And if you do hear any random noises, that's because Adam is sitting on the couch trying not to interrupt me. Isn't that right, Adam?
Because I'm in isolation from the corona.
I think we both are. Okay, so like I said before, the ingredients that you need, it's going to be a very easy, very simple pasta sauce, or a Napoli sauce. Garlic, tomato, onion. You traditionally, like I said before, you do have bay leaves, oregano, rosemary, etc, etc. I'm not going to put all those in because I'm just going to use standard seasoning. I do have oregano in the garden. If I want to use it, I'll go grab some. But I just wanted this to be as easy and simple as possible. So first step, you're going to be cutting up your onion. Just like any pasta sauce or any sauce in general, you always start with the onion and the garlic to cook them off or make them a little bit see-through. Doesn't really matter how you're going to chop up the onions, because I will be using a bay mix at the end to make it smooth. So you can make it as chunky or as fine as you want. Now Adam and I are halfway through our self-isolation. We were advised 4 days after we disembarked that someone on board was confirmed to have had COVID-19 or coronavirus. And then this morning, I get a further email stating that 8 more have been diagnosed. It's definitely fun, exciting times. I, however, don't have any symptoms. I have not really displayed any coughs or anything like that. So I'm 100% certain that I'm fine. I'm not going to go and waste medical professionals' time and take the time away from someone else who may need it, just in case, unless I get to the end of my 14-day isolation and I've developed any symptoms. Note to the people out there, don't be a hypochondriac, don't over-dramatize. Just remember, if you are going to go and take yourself to be tested, you need to make sure that you're doing the right thing and you're not going to be stepping in line in front of someone who actually needs it. I don't think you'll have issues finding tomatoes and onions. Potatoes, potentially. So once you've chopped up your onions, you're going to be cooking them off. Whilst that is in the pot, I will be chopping up my tomatoes. Similar to the onions, it doesn't really matter how fine or how accurate or equal you chop them up. And use the entire tomato, stem and everything. Everything gets used. Because all you're going to be doing is roasting them off until they're cooked down. And then when we boil it, add water, sugar, etc. We're just going to mix it all up at the end. The beauty with Napoli sauce is it can become anything else. You can use it for lasagna, you can use it as a base for a curry, for any kind of stew like Rogan Josh. You can use it obviously in pasta, spaghetti sauce, on pizza. It's a definite staple to have, which is why you're seeing it disappear from the shelves. I did go and stock up on kitchen appliances, but bowls, mixing bowls, and a new pot. So you can see I've cut them pretty chunky. It doesn't really matter. You can see how chunky I've actually cut the tomatoes. Like I said before, it doesn't really matter. They're not even. As long as they're cut up, it's fine. The amount of tomatoes that I got 13 tomatoes. I'm hoping that this is going to make at least a litre of Napoli sauce or pasta sauce. You can do more, you can do less, depending on how much you want to create. To those tomatoes, all I'm going to do is add the 1 onion and then 2 teaspoons of garlic. I'm happy to report I got the first lot of my refund from our cruise this morning. Our onboard credit, that was the excursions that we had paid for, as well as a drinks package. I've got a big chunk of it back, and we're supposed to be getting a full refund of the entire fare in 30 days. Very happy for that. They didn't have to give us a full refund, which is pretty awesome of them. Their Royal Caribbean is the cruise line. My onions are browned off. I'm just going to add in the garlic. You can use fresh garlic and mince it up if you wish, but for convenience sake, I'm just going to use what I have in the fridge, and that's pre-minced. Heaped teaspoons. Make sure that you do obviously cook up your garlic at the same time. For at least for a minute. Okay, all of the tomatoes are chopped and ready to go into the pot. In we go. All we're really doing is breaking down the tomato when we add them to the pot. So they will be in there for quite a while. Making sure that you do stay with the pot so you can stir it and it doesn't stick or burn to the bottom. Here's what it looks like as it's been a couple of minutes now. You can see it's starting to break down. We still want to go until all of the skin is completely broken down. All of the juice is being released into the pot. So at this point I will be adding both a tablespoon of raw sugar and a tablespoon of vinegar. I've got apple cider vinegar, so I don't have vinegar on hand, but this is going to do the trick as well. And the reason we're adding that is so it adds that tart tang to the sauce, whereas the sugar will counteract that and give it a little bit of a sweet boost. Here is our tablespoon of raw sugar. You can put more or less in there. It's obviously completely up to you and what you prefer. I just like to have at least equal parts. You can see it is breaking down quite nicely. It's becoming more of a sauce. I'm going to add in some oregano. I just went and grabbed it from the garden. I'm also going to add a cup of water. Bring that to the boil and then let it simmer. It's been quite some time. You can see it's bubbling and boiling away. It is time to now mix it up using my bay mix and then put the final seasoning before it becomes a pasta sauce. And what do you know, there we have it guys, a quick and easy pasta sauce. And look how much is in this pot. There's quite a lot. This is going to last me for at least a week or maybe even 2. All it took was 16 tomatoes, 1 onion, 2 teaspoons of garlic, a tablespoon of vinegar, a tablespoon of sugar, oregano just from the garden or dried could be used as well, and then a cup of water. 40 minutes all round and you've got yourself some pasta sauce. So if you do find yourself in self-isolation, which I'm pretty sure majority of the world is, why not teach yourself how to cook rather than hoard pasta sauce? Thank you for watching, team. Make sure you give me all of your love. Most importantly, make sure you just keep watching.